It's Tuesday afternoon, but it feels like 12 Mondays stacked together. Your inbox is flooding, your to-do list is mocking you, and living in a Wi-Fi free cave suddenly sounds appealing. If this rings true, you might be experiencing burnout, a very real occupational phenomenon recognized by the World Health Organization. Burnout isn't just feeling tired or cranky, it's prolonged stress that can damage your health, happiness, and productivity. The good news? It's not permanent. With the right tools, you can recover, recharge, and rediscover your energy. Figuring out if you're actually burnt out. Before declaring burnout, it's worth checking what's really going on. The common signs, exhaustion, cynicism, and reduced performance can also come from medical issues like thyroid problems, iron deficiency, or even depression. In short, if you're tired all the time, everything feels pointless, and your work has slid from above average to barely functional, burnout might be the cause, but not always. Step 1 is to consult a healthcare provider to rule out medical factors. Once you know it isn't something like a vitamin deficiency, you can focus on true recovery. The 6-stage journey back from burnout. Number 1, admit you're burnt out. No denial here. Step 1 is calling it what it is. You can't fix what you won't acknowledge. Number 2, create distance from stressors. This could mean taking a vacation, saying no to extra projects, or locking yourself in the bathroom just to scroll TikTok in peace. Big or small, creating breathing room matters. Number 3, focus on health. Sleep. Eat something green. Dance around your living room. Refill your tank, however that looks for you. Number 4, re-evaluate your goals. Ask the hard questions. Am I aligned with my values? Do I even like what I'm doing? Why did I agree to join that committee again? Number 5, explore alternatives. Sometimes recovery means pivoting. Maybe you need a new hobby, a new boundary, or a new job. Or maybe just a standing do not disturb hour every evening. Number 6, take action. Once you know what you need, actually do it. This is the hardest part, but also the most important. Burnout busting strategies that actually work. Strategy 1, bring in the professionals. Let's face it, sometimes recovering from burnout feels like trying to untangle Christmas lights, doable in theory, but maddening in practice. That's where therapy can be a lifesaver. Talking to a professional can help you figure out whether what you're experiencing is burnout, anxiety, depression, or some cocktail of all three. Therapists can also give you structured strategies like cognitive behavioral therapy, which is basically a mental workout plan for your brain. Plus, having someone who nods empathetically instead of saying, "Have you tried yoga?" is worth its weight in gold. Strategy 2, alert the troops. If you're struggling, it's not the time to put on a superhero cape and insist you're fine. Let your friends, family, or coworkers know what's going on. People can't support you if they don't know you're drowning. Sometimes just admitting you're struggling allows others to step in, whether that means listening, offering practical help, or simply inviting you to dinner even though you bailed the last 4 times. And if you don't have a strong support system, that's something to bring up with your therapist. There are support groups, community resources, and even online communities full of people who understand what you're going through. Strategy 3, say what you actually need. No one is a mind reader. If you need space, quiet, or a pizza delivered directly to your couch, you've got to say it. Part of recovering from burnout is learning to advocate for yourself. Even if you don't always get what you ask for, the act of speaking up sends a powerful signal to yourself. I am worthy of care. And yes, sometimes that care looks like tacos. Strategy 4, be nice to yourself for once. Self-care has become a buzzword, conjuring images of face masks and overpriced candles. But real recovery is more about self-compassion than bubble baths. It's about extending yourself the same kindness you'd offer a friend. Instead of beating yourself up for being exhausted, try saying, "This is tough, but everyone goes through hard times. I'm human, not a machine." By shifting your inner dialogue, you create space to actually heal. And yes, if that bubble bath helps, go for it. But don't let that be the only tool in your recovery kit. Strategy 5. Keep tabs on your stress. One of the sneaky parts of burnout is how it makes your stress response go haywire. Suddenly, the sound of an incoming email feels like a personal attack. Noticing when and where you feel the most stressed can help you identify patterns. Maybe every time you hear the ding of a Slack message, your stomach ties itself in knots. Or maybe you snap at your kids right around dinner time every night. By paying attention, you gain power and the ability to make changes instead of staying stuck on the stress hamster wheel. Strategy 6. Journal like no one's reading. Journaling isn't about writing the next great American novel. It's about dumping the chaos in your brain onto paper so it doesn't rattle around in your head all day. Whether it's full sentences, bullet lists, or doodles that only vaguely resemble your boss, the act of writing can be cathartic. Some people even keep gratitude journals, which can be surprisingly effective for rewiring your brain to notice the good things, like coffee, naps, and that one friend who always texts you memes at the perfect time. Strategy 7. Experiment with stress relief tricks. Stress management isn't one size fits all, which means you might need to try a few methods before you find what sticks. Some people swear by yoga, while others would rather take a nap on a bed of Legos than do downward dog. That's fine. There are plenty of alternatives. Forest therapy, which is essentially just walking outside and touching trees. Box breathing, which is like tricking your nervous system into thinking everything's fine. Or even vagus nerve stimulation, which sounds like science fiction but is basically a reset button for your body. The point is to find something, anything, that makes your stress level drop, even if it's just a long soak in an Epsom salt bath. Strategy 8. Build boundaries like your life depends on it. The pandemic did a real number on our boundaries. Suddenly, our homes were offices, classrooms, and 24/7 caregiver stations. For many of us, work-life balance was replaced by work-life soup, where everything blended together. Rebuilding those boundaries is essential. That might mean refusing to answer emails after 6 p.m., declining social invitations when you're too drained, or finally learning to say no without apologizing. Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out. They're fences that protect your peace. Strategy 9. Eat food that loves you back. When stress hits, your brain often demands comfort food, usually in the form of sugar, carbs, and things that come in shiny, crinkly wrappers. And while there's nothing wrong with the occasional cupcake, a steady diet of junk can make your fatigue worse. Eating more whole foods, proteins, and vegetables can boost your energy and mood in a way that cookies just can't. Think of it as putting premium fuel in your tank instead of watered-down gas that barely gets you down the block. Strategy 10. Move, even if it's just a little. Exercise is one of the most effective mood boosters available, sometimes rivaling medication in its benefits for depression. But when you're burned out, the idea of hitting the gym for an hour feels like climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops. The trick is to start small. Even 5 minutes of stretching, dancing in your kitchen, or walking around the block counts. Movement doesn't have to be grand to be effective. What matters most is consistency, not perfection. Strategy 11. Fix your sleep, please. Burnout and bad sleep go together like peanut butter and jelly, except far less delicious. Getting good rest is crucial for recovery, but often easier said than done. Try writing down your to-do list before bed so your brain doesn't spend the night rehearsing tomorrow. Wear socks if you're cold-footed. Yes, it actually helps circulation. Talk to your doctor about magnesium if you're tossing and turning. And if you can't fall asleep, don't lie there panicking. Get up, do something calming, and try again. Sleep is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. And that's a wrap on today's deep dive into burnout recovery. If you found this video helpful or at least mildly entertaining, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Until next time, remember, you're not a machine, you're a human, and humans deserve rest, joy, and maybe a cookie. Stay kind to yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.